Welcome to NEXTGames Ambuscade series, April 2025, against a Shadow Dragon. Now, it's been several years since we've seen this particular run, but I'm happy to report that it's a good month for players of all gearing levels to get some quick runs in, normally in less than 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and delve into what's involved this month. First, key item acquisition. Now, this month you will need 1 dragon kill for your first run of the day, and 3 dragon kills for multiple runs in that same day. Now, the best place I've found to get these is to Home Point Warp to Baflau Thickets, where you can find many pucks and wyverns nearby to get your key item as you see me doing here. Now, on to the run itself against a single Shadow Dragon. Now, he will use all the normal Shadow Dragon attacks, some of which are actually going to be things like Body Slam, which is an AoE ability that will do upwards of 1000 damage to everyone in range, and Chaos Blade, which is a directional attack that can do a good deal of damage and curse you if it does hit you. Now, this can at times kill some of your backline trust, or at the very least severely reduce their MP pool, so you're normally going to want to make sure that the backline jobs are not behind the tank or in front of where the Shadow Dragon is currently facing, because the Shadow Dragon won't always be facing whoever has hate due to his positioning mechanics. Now, this is going to be difficult with some trust. As you will notice in my examples, I don't really do the best job of actually protecting them at times. Now, fortunately, my trusts still live, but it can put them at risk, so keep this in mind, and if in your runs you find yourself struggling with keeping your trust alive, be sure to use more caution and care in their positioning. This is also very helpful, as the majority of the Shadow Dragon's attacks are conal based, so it's going to keep them out of the danger of all those attacks as well, and make it so that all they're going to have to do is normally cure the tank and any other DD trust you have helping you out. Now, the Samba Dragon is going to always begin the fight with Thorn Song, followed by a breath move, so he's always going to have some form of spikes up and then use that breath move as his first ability. He then is going to use standard attacks until that 20% health mark, at which point he's always going to use Void Song to remove the buffs of everyone in range and reset hate. Now, you cannot silence him, so it's not possible to avoid this mechanic. I find that it's normally best to just rebuff yourself with the minimum buffs you need to keep getting in good damage, and then keep pushing through, as normally it only takes about 30 seconds to defeat him once he reaches this 20% health threshold. The dragon also has extremely high magic resistance, and strength to it depends on which of the breath attacks he last used. But in general, all magic and skill chain damage is severely reduced, so I recommend just sticking with your strongest single weapon skill to get your damage in. For many jobs, this is going to be simply using your Nagling and then spamming Savage Blade, as you see me doing in my first 2 battle examples with Ninja and Red Mage. Now, in my third battle example that you're going to see me taking it on with Ambuscade gear and weapons only, using my Ninja, and not allowing myself any gear swaps or add-ons. Now, even though Nagling is an Ambuscade weapon, I thought it would be good to show an example of what a run looks like when you're not using that weapon, so I go ahead and stick with my usual Gokutai and Turret Ambuscade weapons to show what that kind of run looks like. Now, trust selection this month can play an important role for the win, and I really think that you should always, regardless of your job, have a strong tank trust to actually make your life much easier and allow you to quickly get your damage in. I find that RKV does great for this month, and I have had no issues with him dying. Other than that, you can fill the rest of your slots with trust to cap your haste and heal you, but there really isn't much healing needed this month. For instance, in my Ambuscade battle example, I go with just Yoren Oren for healing, and it's more than enough. So feel free to throw in a trust like Matsui P to help get some extra damage in, as I do in that battle example. Also, please keep in mind that while you can enfeeble this boss, anything aligned with darkness is going to be very difficult to land. So things such as Blind and Frazzle, while it is possible to land them, it's normally not worth the time involved to reliably land it. One last note, if you see him use Petro Eyes, that's also going to reset hate, so just make sure that you're ready in case he starts going for your back line and your tank can't grab him quick enough. That's about all I have to share for this month's run. I hope you found that helpful. Have a great month, everyone. We'll see you next time.